So you want to get into board gaming, but you don't know where to start. You've popped into your friendly local game store and seen shelf upon shelf of brightly coloured games that you know next to nothing about. You might be too polite, or even worse, too British to ask for help. Don't worry, Dysart has you covered with 5 bloody brilliant board games that are simple and easy to teach and don't take an obscene amount of time to play. First up is Mage Knight.
Cut!
What? Pandemic is probably the most obvious game on this list. It's a cooperative board game. You and your friends will be working together to cure 4 horrific diseases which are busy wiping out most of the population. This game will also prove to your friends that board gaming isn't all about fanning about as elves or dicking around in spaceships. You'll be jet-setting across the globe, gathering information, building research centres, treating the sick, trying to cure these 4 diseases. But every so often, an epidemic will occur that will set off a chain reaction of outbreaks that will screw you over horribly. Working with your friends as a team is an absolute delight, and every character has their own special ability which ensures that everybody has at least one heroic moment in a game. And each character can charter flights to wherever they want on the planet, which makes you feel really important. Be warned though, Pandemic is really tough, but when you and your friends go through the ringer and come out the other side, you'll feel heroic. And you should, because you've just saved the world. Next up is a push your luck dice game. King of Tokyo is kind of a cross between King of the Hill and Yahtzee. But instead of rolling dice for no reason, in King of Tokyo you're playing as giant kaiju and you'll be rolling dice to punch your friends in the face. There are 2 ways you can win. You can go for a points victory, or you can just be the last monster standing and kill everybody else. I mean, what's more fun than killing your friends and family? Nothing. Sometimes your dice rolls allow you to buy upgrade cards that let you get extra heads or tentacles or breathe fire and help bring a bit more flavour to your monster. King of Tokyo is not only simple, but it's brash and loud and plays in about half an hour. It's also really quick to set up, which means that you can play it drunk, which is always a bonus. Everybody should have a deck builder in their collection. The most obvious recommendation would probably be Dominion, but I'm not being obvious. Arctic Scavengers is a game for 2 to 5 players in which you and your friends compete for survival in a wintry, post-apocalyptic nightmare. Hooray! You'll start off with a shitty deck of cards, but by scavenging for equipment and hiring mercenaries, you'll gradually build a sexy deck of double-hard bastards. And that's great. Building a deck that lets you scavenge and hunt whatever you want is really satisfying, but the icing on this sandwich is the skirmish round. You'll be fighting over contested resources. First you'll announce to the table how many cards you'll be holding back for the skirmish, but you'll only reveal them at the start of the battle. Maybe you'll hold all of your cards back for the skirmish and intimidate your friends so they stay away, but then you reveal a handful of useless items like shovels. And then next time you'll do the same, you'll hold 4 cards back for the skirmish, and then your friends think you're bluffing again, so they go all in on the skirmish and you reveal 2 sets of double hard thugs armed with assault rifles. Now this element of bluffing and cunning combined with rich deck building mechanics and a bleak apocalyptic theme make Arctic Scavengers a must-own game. Next up we have a miniatures game. I know I said earlier that board gaming's not all about dicking about with spaceships, but hear me out. Now some of you would run for the hills when you hear the words miniatures game. You'll think of obscenely expensive collectible games with rulebooks as thick as a car tyre. Rest assured, XWing is different. I mean, XWing is incredibly simple. In fact, it's got 3 tiers of complexity, and the first one is just this little rules pamphlet, and you can add extra rules like special abilities and asteroids once you're comfortable. Gameplay wise, XWing is genius. It plays so quickly because you issue orders to your ships simultaneously using these little dials. You place them face down. You'll then reveal and carry out your orders depending on the skill of the pilots. But the secrecy opens up a whole slew of tactical flexibility, brinksmanship, bluffing, and trying to read what your opponent's up to. These cool custom dice are used to determine whether or not you hit another ship. You don't have to do any maths or look up anything in charts. Everything is crystal clear. All the information that you need is either on your cards or actually on the miniatures themselves. And the miniatures are gorgeous, you know. They're pre-painted, they require minimal assembly. And if you're still not convinced, I introduced my friend David to this game, and he's never played a miniatures game before, and he doesn't even like Star Wars, and he loved it. He loved how accessible it was and how quick it played. and he also loved the fact that he'd kick my ass. And last but certainly not least, we have Lords of Vegas, which is arguably the most complex game on this list, but in my opinion, it's the game that should replace Monopoly in every household. In Lords of Vegas, you and your friends are property barons vying for control over old Las Vegas, 1920s. You'll be building casinos, you'll be jostling for control of them. You'll also, if you're clever, be able to steal control of a casino from your friends. And if you want to blow off some steam, you can just go gambling if you want to. Every action you take in Lords of Vegas, despite this being a cutthroat strategy game, is determined by the turn of a card or the roll of a dice. Now this is great because it completely eliminates downtime. Every time somebody is having a turn, they are the centre of attention. People are watching, waiting for them to either pull off that miraculous, beautiful dice roll or just fail horribly. It's absolutely brilliant. Building a super casino and dominating the Vegas skyline is really satisfying. As he's stealing a casino from your friend, the look on their face will be priceless. Lords of Vegas is ruthless, it's hilarious, it's an incredible amount of fun. It's the game that Monopoly thinks it is. As an aside, I've covered this in a review video on my channel, and I've also reviewed King of Tokyo as well, which is incidentally my first ever board game review video. I'll put links to those two videos in the description. So there we go, this should give you a decent starting point for your collection. All of these games have different themes and mechanics to give you a smattering of variety right from the off. And I'm sure many people watching will be leaving helpful recommendations in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching and have fun. If you like this video, please do share it with your friends. Don't let Dice Art be your little secret. If you'd like to support the channel financially like the fantastic people on screen now, there is a link to my Patreon page, as well as links to my most recent video and social media so you can stalk me on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.